Aloha and mahalo for joining me. I'm Janet, and welcome to the Call to Create podcast. I'm so excited that you're here today. And today's episode is about being paralyzed by fear. But before I do talk about that, I wanted to ask you if you've ever considered meeting with me for a coaching session. I just want to let you know, ladies, that I do business coaching to help you get your creative business started. And we'll work together to outline all the steps to get your business up and running quickly, especially with the tech part. Remember, I love tech, so I can definitely help you with that, especially if that freaks you out just thinking about tech. I know I've heard some people say it freaks them out, but I can help you with that. It's so easy for me because I love it. And I'm here to serve you and help you. So if you're standing in your own way and if you feel like you're just not sure what to do, then email me at aloha@janetjohnston.com to get my coaching menu and book a coaching session with me. Okay, let's get to our topic today. And, I want to ask you if you're being paralyzed by fear, because fear always seems to feel real, like really, really real, especially because it comes in all shapes and sizes. And you know what? It can also appear or mask itself as something else too. For example, it could appear as like you not being ready because maybe you think, oh, I don't know enough, or maybe you feel like you have to wait until your life is not so busy. And if you want to sell something that you made, it might seem to mask itself as something where you say to yourself, oh, well, it's not perfect yet. I have to make my project perfect first. And I've heard that a lot from a lot of people where they have all of these fears and they say all of these things, but a lot of the things that they say is not the real. It's not really the problem. It's usually fear that is the problem, and that it's always masking itself. There's endless number of things that fear can mask itself as. And of course, I talk about all these things that I know because I've had fear where I'm thinking, I can't do that. Like a couple podcast episodes ago, I talked about how I practiced doing videos, about how I was so afraid, and I would record myself, watch it back and freak out and then just delete the video. So it took me probably about a year before I actually released my first video. And all of this fear really can stop you, because it has stopped me in many more ways than just trying to make a video many years ago. But you're missing out on your opportunity. And think about that. Are you spending so much time worrying about what others will think about you that you're just missing out on the opportunity to bring value to other people with your creative gift or creative gifts if you have more than one? And like I've said before, most people have more than one gift. Now, all of these gifts are given to us from God. So I want you to remember that He wants you to share these gifts and to bless your life, to use it to bless your life and to bless the lives of other people. And by nature, women are very generous, but you cannot be generous if you have fear. And because we're so generous, it becomes such a feeling of being fulfilled. Like when you're generous, think about the times that you were generous and how fulfilling that felt for you. Because that's just our nature. As women, we are generous and you are generous. And there's just something so special. And that feeling that you get when you do share what you have. And it's not only about sharing what you make, but even just sharing your time with someone. Think back on the times where you had someone who you've spent time with because they needed you, like your best friend or other friends or family. Think about how generous you were with your time. And that's what we do. We as women, we give and we give and we give. And there's no difference when you are giving in your own personal life and when you have a business that you're giving of your gifts to other people. It's really the same. It's just you're using your gifts and being generous in different areas. Because I've said it before many times that when you have a business, your business is never separate from your personal life. They all are one, because usually a business is created from something that you love so much or something that you love doing. And when you're doing these things, you're thinking about it all the time. And I know because I talk to a lot of women, and I have talked to a lot of women for 30 years since I've had my business that long. And I remember times and women also telling me, like, when you're cooking or you're shopping or you're cleaning the house, you're always thinking about your business or you're thinking about other things that really don't have anything to do with your personal life. So you have to remember that our lives are one. It doesn't matter what we're doing, even if you have a job and you don't even have your own business yet. When you have a job, sometimes you go home and you think about your day. Like I used to do that. I used to come home and think about all the things that I did at work or the conversations I've had with my coworkers or anything like that, or even customers. And I used to think about what I could do better, how I could do this certain thing at work better. And it just goes on, and it's just a part of your life. So take this opportunity to think about what kind of fear are you letting get in your way and paralyze you, because you don't want to miss out on your opportunity. Now, in a previous podcast episode, I talked about how to overcome your fear, and there are 5 different steps. So I want you to go back and listen to that episode. So that was in episode 121. I want you to go back and listen to that. In there, I outlined the 5 steps to conquer your fear of judgment. And, judgment too is part of being paralyzed because, we're afraid of being judged. So it's all the same thing. Just sometimes we talk about it different and we refer to things differently. But the bottom line is that fear is the bottom of everything that we do and we don't do. And I know I'm talking from experience because in every area of my life, I've had fear and I've had to figure out what it was and be honest with myself and to learn how to be able to overcome that fear. And my number one way is to plead with God for help, to ask God for help to take away that fear and to help me let go of it. And so I know you can do this. And turning to God is so powerful because He is all knowing. But don't let fear paralyze you and steal your joy, because that's another thing that fear does, is it steals your joy. Because when you let fear run your life and paralyze you, that's the only thing that you think about. If you think about your whole day and what you do and what you think about, you'll realize that there are moments in your life where you either have let fear paralyze you and steal your joy and let it be consuming. I hope you're not there anymore if you were. And if you are, I invite you to contact me. I want to help you. Send me an email. And fear is such a big deal now because we have so much technology and we have social media and everyone's online now. So here's another thing I want you to think about. Can you imagine when you have your own business and you're selling a product and someone buys it and they feel so much joy and they are so excited that they send you an email about how much they love your product. And imagine in your mind how that's going to make you feel when you know someone else has bought your product and is totally enjoying it and it's blessing their family as well. And just imagine that in your mind. Because you have such a great imagination, you can imagine good things. And it's really easy to imagine things that are not good. I think that's so easy. But try to focus and imagine in your mind a customer who bought your product and they just can't stop talking about it. And even if you have a service that you're doing, say you're teaching something, can you imagine someone who learns so much from you and they're just so excited that they go on and they tell other people about it and they just share how wonderful you are? That is so that is so exciting. I can't even begin to express how exciting it is when someone comes back and says they love what they learned from you or they love what they bought from you. It's just so amazing that I can't even begin to describe it. So I want that for you. I want you to be able to let go of this fear that's paralyzing you, because I don't want you to miss out on your opportunity to experience all of these amazing things. The level of fulfillment is so high that it's beyond description and it's beyond words. And I want you to experience that. So think about all of these things today. And, if you're ready to start your business, you let me know. I'm here to help you. And I love having a business of my own because it's my own creation. And I get to create from my heart. I get to put my heart and soul into what I'm doing and what I'm creating. And I'm so grateful that it brings joy to other women, because I want to bring joy and I want to feel joy too. Remember, don't let fear paralyze you and steal your joy. It's just not worth it, because you have worth and value. And I will tell you that for as long as I live, that you have worth and value. So think about that today. And please share this podcast with anyone who you know would get great value out of listening to it, especially if you know that they're thinking about starting their own business. Or even if they're not, there's still great value that I share in each episode that can bring value to women, even if they aren't interested in starting their own business. And please rate and review this podcast. I would appreciate it. And thank you so much, ladies. I hope you have a great day. Aloha.